Oh,
you
man,
guys missed
you
all of
missed
it. It was like so good.
That was like the funniest beginning we've ever had.
All right, too late. So anyways, about the shop. No. Jeannie was telling me that she wants, like, I bought Jeannie a fitness watch years ago, and then she was like, I'm not going to wear it. And then,
well, okay, this is why. It was super sporty, and it was like, first, it was like this big. Like, you know, Flavor Flav, and he wears that big
it was
clock
not that big.
on a big chain around his neck. That's what it looked like on my wrist. It was like so big, like a sundial.
Well, it was no bigger than mine.
But like, and then I felt like a charlatan because it was super sporty, and I am not super sporty. So I was like, and who wears a watch anymore? I know some of you wear watches, but like, I don't wear a watch. I just rely on my phone and other people. Hey, what time is it? That's more my style.
She'll be on her phone, looking at her phone, and be like, what time is it?
That's an exaggeration, but I'll let him.
I guarantee it's happened.
I have looked at my phone and been like, I've been like this. Oh my God, where's my phone? And think I lost my phone and gone running back to the store being like, and Patrick's like, you're on your phone. So that's not an exaggeration. That's a true story.
So this morning I reduced my metabolic age by 1.5 years in the last couple of days because I've lost 7 pounds.
You lost 7 pounds?
I lost 7 pounds from the beginning of the
summer.
summer.
You were looking a little soft.
I was a little soft. So I was like...
Oh, is metabolic age... What is that?
Metabolic age has to do with like pulse oxygen, resting heart rate, like activity levels, intensity activity levels, stress levels.
Okay, my metabolic age is going to be like 92. Yeah.
Because of your stress.
Yeah, it's going to be really bad.
So I commented that I commented as to my metabolic age, and then Jeannie's like, let me wear your watch.
I want to challenge him. But
I'm like, I'd take that bet.
Now I don't want to know. I don't want to know anymore.
So,
now that you told me what it's based on, I don't want to know.
And then they have a scale that Garmin has a scale, and I want the scale. I'm like fighting my materialism so bad because I'm like, they're like, if you want a more accurate metabolic age,
they can tell just by you standing on the scale, or is it a combination of the watch and the scale
has like electrodes.
It's like this integration.
So you stand on the scale, it weighs you, but it also can tell how hydrated you are, like what's going on with your electrolytes. It can predict your BMI.
Mine's gonna say you're old and crusty and your heels are gross. Am I feeling? By me standing on it.
So
it'll say, go give your husband a scratchy foot back rub. Scratchy, dry foot back
all
rub.
the people that have never watched this before are like, what is going on? And so I was like, I don't even know why I mentioned this. I was super excited this morning because I was like, I haven't weighed myself since the beginning of the summer. And so I was looking at it last night after my ride, and I was like, I wonder if I've lost weight. I look like I've lost weight. And then I was like, oh, I took 7 pounds off.
Of course, you'll be happy if your watch is like, you're 42, 10 years younger than you are.
So I was happy about that.
I'll tell you, you're 40. You look 42 today.
I don't look 42 at all.
You act 42.
I act 26.
So I thought this was funny. So on my way to work today, we'll just start off the day with just absolute nonsense that has nothing to do with sewing. But I called my girlfriends, and I had 2 of my girlfriends, 2 for 1.
This is how this came up, actually.
Yes, 2 for 1. Because they were on a walk together, and so they put me on speakerphone, and I could talk to both of them at the same time, which was like, I love bang for my buck. And Nanda was like, she was telling me how she goes, I watch the live feeds and I speed up through Patrick so I can hear you. And she was just like kidding around. But she goes, you talk so fast and Patrick talks so slow. So if I speed Patrick up, he sounds normal speed, and you're like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah." But if I slow it down, then Patrick's like, welcome to a, which I thought was really funny. Nobody has ever told me that before. Did you realize that? You talk slow?
It's because but I'm sure as soon as the live stream kicks in, you're like, oh my God, I'm so stressed.
Yes.
So your cortisol increases.
And then the panic ensues. And then I'm like, oh my God, I have so much to tell you. Let's get it all out now. If you sent me an email yesterday, I did not answer it. Actually, I started answering it this morning. So don't panic and just get. Did we tell them the sale is over? I'm putting in sales.
The sale is over.
And we're never going to do it again, we decided.
I was thinking the sale is like a bad, it's like a bad, we've all been on like one of those like old roller coasters that's like almost like a little violent where that's kind of like the brother sale, right? Like we start and then like everybody starts telling us and
but
we're
there's
like,
so much
we're
fun.
like, oh, this is a good sale. And like you're going up the hill and like you're like, oh, this is cool. This is fun. Like this is going to be a good sale. Like this is going to make a lot of sense. And then you hit the first drop, right? In the first drop, you're like, woo, this is like great. The first sale's going so good. It's awesome. And then brother doesn't ship the stuff we order. And then we've got to ship everything to you. And you hit that first violent corner where you're like, oh, God, that hurt. I don't know.
And you're like, it's rickety. It's going to fall apart.
And then you hit the other thing, and like the next hill goes higher, like as people get into the sale, and then you're like, I don't know, like this isn't bad. The views are pretty good from here. I think I can see the ocean. And then it drops again, and then this one does like
you think you're gonna die.
The violent loop where you get like stuck like this,
and you think you're going to die. I think I'm going to die from this sale.
And then you get off of it, and you're like, oh, God, I'm never doing that again. And then that's where we are right now. So you got to get your brother's sale.
So if you want to get it now, it may never happen again. Oh, my God.
Jeannie was sitting at the table this morning, and she's like, oh, my God, we're never doing it. This brother sale was massive, so we appreciate you. It's been a very good sale. I'm a little concerned about the fact that the price list changed in the middle of the sale. But it was a great sale, and I think we've met some folks, and we totally appreciate it. But it is, it's type 2 fun. It's like...
What's type 2 fun?
Type 2 fun is like when you get off the roller coaster and you're like, I'm never doing that again. Then like a year later, you're back at the same amusement park.
Like having a baby.
You're at the
amusement like having
park
a baby.
And you're like, yeah, I remember that roller coaster. Wasn't that bad. Let's do it. And then, so we'll probably do it again. But
yeah, right now we're never going to do it again. Because, it is a bear taking all those orders. Okay, last night I was filling stuff, and it would be easy if everything came in all at once, and they, but I haven't got a lot of people ordered by level feet. Well, they sent me the lefts and not the rights, and a lot of people got narrow.
And we're just gonna ship it. Because we don't have room for it.
Some of the stuff I have like small orders and things like that. Bigger stuff we're probably gonna just send out to you, and then I'll let you know when everything else is coming in, and then we did have that box that showed up open, where stuff had fallen out. This box was so big. And then I'm like, half the stuff they said they shipped me isn't in this. So I think, again, it's going to be like boxes coming in the next couple of days. But anyways, enjoy the sale. I'm putting one last order in on Monday. So I know we said.
So it's till tomorrow. because it's a holiday weekend. We have 10 college kids showing up at my house.
Oh my God.
We are, we're busy. So
It's a
you've
busy
got
weekend.
until tomorrow. If the order's in till tomorrow, it's guaranteed.
Sunday.
If it's not in by
Sunday.
tomorrow,
Sunday.
it is not.
Sunday.
So
It's got to be here before. I would do Saturday to be on the safe side.
I would do it by tomorrow because that's when I'm
That's
not
when
checking
Patrick's-
my stuff after tomorrow.
Saturday. Because I'm
You're
gonna,
a
you know,
glutton for
Sunday I'm
punishment.
gonna be like, oh my God, gotta get the orders in. They're gonna be like, it's never happening again. I gotta get it.
You're like, oh my God! You're like, is my belt tight enough?
It's exciting, right? It's an exciting roller coaster.
Then I was thinking this morning, like I saw a rattlesnake so big last night.
He
that-
was talking about it till this
that,
morning.
Like I'm like traumatized by it. So you know when we went to the Needles with Joe.
Yes.
So Joe and
My
I.
brother is so sweet. When we went climbing, we went rock climbing, and I couldn't make it past the first. There is a move. I couldn't. He let me climb up his body and step on his head to get me up there. He's like, just do it. He's like, I'm like, I don't want to hurt you. He's like, just do it. And I climbed on his shoulders and stepped on his head. That's how sweet my brother is.
That's
okay.
how good of a rock climber Jeannie is.
Yeah.
So the when we hiked down from the Needles is like an exhausting place to climb. There's this like several mile hike to get up there and down. Joe and I got tired and we sat on this big rock, and then another group of climbers was coming down, and one of the guys was like, oh my God, you guys did not look where you were seated. And like we were like both kind of like sitting on this rock, and we went to get down. He's like, no, just go around the backside. And at the bottom of the rock was a Pacific rattler, and those things get huge. Those things can be like 6-7 feet long, and they're like deadly because they're paralytic. They just stop your heart if you get venomated. But like last night, like I was riding mountain bikes and I like came around the corner, and in the middle of the trail was this massive snake, and it was so big in my head. When I've seen a snake that big, they've always been gopher snakes. But as I was like riding by the snake coiled up and it started rattling, and in my head I was like, they're Great Basin rattlesnakes, but like, you know, they had the diamonds on its back. And in my head I was like, oh my God, that's a rattlesnake. And I'm still traumatized.
Yeah,
by it.
he was like talking about
That's
it
like
this
the sail.
morning.
That's like the sail.
You're like, it's kind of fun to see it, but it could kill me. So, yeah, I don't like you talking about that either. What if, like, I didn't even know where you were?
Oh, I mean,
Where
that's
would I find
It's
you?
a Great Basin rattlesnake. That's like tissue loss, not.
This is the thing with Reno, or this area. In the middle of the wilderness, you'll have great cell reception, but just not on McCarran if you're from here.
I would have had cell reception. While
Yeah,
I was.
so you
I
could
would've
have called
made
me.
I would have made it.
You
out.
could have called me if something had happened.
But it was big.
Let's answer a couple of these questions. Should we talk? Should we talk about something that matters? Okay. Yes, Heather.
We'll end up doing more brother sales.
Yeah, it might be a once a year thing.
We'll forget.
Yeah. How
do I order? I only need one hoop.
email me?
Soki, just email Jeannie.
Yes. Faye, I didn't look at that email yet, but I'll look at the email.
Yeah, yours was in, Betty, and I think I sent it yesterday.
No, that was her order. She's talking about the extension table. It should be. It should be here in the next.
Today.
Yes. And I'll let you know as soon as that comes in. And Mugrat kits are not going to be ready until probably next week. And you shouldn't even be worried about it because the designs aren't coming out until October. So, but we, like, if you, oh my God, I have some to show you. We have stacks of kits that are already cut. And I'll show you these too because Dana brought these in.
Cora, like where you used to live, I used to ride my mountain bike out there at night. Like in the summer when it was too hot to ride during the day, when my metabolic age was 32. And so so two things happened like within like a couple of month period. One, I saw a mountain lion and I was by myself and I was out there at night. Like I was riding and I saw a big group of deer and they weren't looking at me and I was like, where are they looking? And then I looked and they were looking at a mountain lion and I was like, I need to get out of here. And then one time
he needs to carry a knife.
And then
like
one time
strapped to his leg because if the mountain lion comes, it's gonna go right. It goes like here.
No, it goes like
does it ambush you?
The back.
And then you could Rambo it and just like.
So,
I
but
think
then,
you need to carry
but
something.
then the next thing that happened, like 2 or 3 weeks later, is I was riding at night and I rode like up onto a rock pile, and then I realized there were snakes everywhere.
That's scary.
And I was like, ah!
Was
and
was it like Indiana Jones?
Oh my God. They were like probably like 6 or 7 and they were rattlesnakes and they were all sitting on these rocks, I'm sure, because the rocks were warm. Yeah. And they weren't really moving. So I think they were probably pretty cold already. But I was like, I'm not riding anymore at night. Well, they had no idea I was coming. I was like, I was moving fast enough that by the time I got through, like they were slow to react and
because you were riding through the like.
But I was like, I didn't even know if I rode over some of them. I was just like, nah, like. And then I got out of the rocks and I was like, I knew a place that didn't have any rocks. That's how I rode back to the car.
I don't like these stories.
Well, remember the time Momo ran into the rock pile?
No.
Like when we were behind Patagonia, and I like ran over and into the rock pile, and the whole rock pile, like none of the snakes were out on top of the rocks.
I've never heard this story.
Not Momo, but Haiku. You were with me.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And I like ran into the middle of the rock pile, and the rock pile was just buzzing. Like it was like I was like, ah!
Yeah,
like I grabbed my dog, and like
people's dogs here get bit by rattlesnakes. And growing up on the East Coast, we had like what, water moccasins? I mean, those are those. Not in Connecticut.
Yeah, you did. You just never saw them.
We have rattlesnakes.
You saw cottonmouths, copperheads.
I would see snakes were like, I'd see gardener snakes, and that was like.
Garter snakes.
Are they garter?
Garter.
What are they?
Garter.
Garter.
Like a garter.
Garter snakes? Yes. Yeah. I thought they were.
Gardener snakes.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were. Snakes just gross me out. I find them scary. Okay, so Mugrat. I wanted to show you this. So Dana went ahead and stitched out a bunch of these, and these are going to be some. Oh God, are you okay?
I don't even know.
Did
you hit me with your rough? Did you hit me with your rough heels?
He told me my toes were gross last. He was like, "What did you say?"
I was like, "You need to cut that toe."
Okay, I want you to know my toenails. I didn't know this, but when you go through chemo, it makes your nails do really weird things. So it made my toenails.
It's all the fast-growing stuff. You lose your hair, your toenails get messed up.
And so I was like, he told me something. He told me it was. I don't think he even told me. He goes,
you need to cut that. No,
that's what he did. Yes, you had like, it was like that. And then, yes, that did not make me feel like a princess. And then he told me I needed to cut it. And I said I couldn't because it's still attached. Like it's attached to the skin that I cut it as low as I could. But yes, it's not pretty. So I'm waiting for it to grow out because you can see it's normal. Like halfway down it's normal and then the top half is like It's not pretty. But you shouldn't make me feel like...
I felt bad after you were like, I can't cut it. I was like, I shouldn't have said that.
Okay, do you want to see the... Oh my God.
You're touching me with
I don't have my shoes on.
I'm totally kidding.
Okay.
We
Anyways.
laugh a lot, thankfully.
Okay, so Mug Rugs 6 preview. These are some of them Jana stitched out. So there's this one, and everything's going to be kit with these fabrics in there. So the mountains are calling, and I must go.
You gotta make a bunch of those.
You like that?
I do.
Patrick's going to sit down with like his mug rug and his little cup of coffee. Wait, okay. This one's my favorite because, I mean, who doesn't love a gnome? And like mushrooms.
Some of our people don't.
I know some of you don't love gnomes, but how cute is this? And it says, welcome gnome. How cute is that? She made 2 of these and gave one to Graydon because Graydon, if you talk to Graydon, she works here. So she made her this one. You're perfect just the way you are. Oh, I want to tell you, our kits are going to have this velvet. No, this is felt. It calls for some kind of like suede stuff. And this is what's going to be in our kit. And we're going to kit it with, you can either stitch out the bows like Dana did, or you'll have 2 different tulle ribbons. I bought navy and I bought a blue. So those will be in the kit. So you'll have a couple different options for that. Ice, ice, baby. Dun, 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 dun. So this one, ice, ice, hockey. Cute. And then I love this one. It says, I should give you this. You make the world a better place. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just, and look at the quilting on the side. Isn't that just so pretty?
So this is from Mug Rugs 6. It's not Digital Dealer, correct?
Yeah, this is Mug Rug 6. Doesn't come out until October. Fabric kits, I'm going to ship. Usually I keep your fabric kits and I'll ship it with them if you want. I would order the fabric kit sooner than later because we cut 40, although we'll cut more. That'll guarantee you're one of the first 40. And then we'll ship it all together. However, sometimes if you have like another order going out, then I just pop it in there. So, but you can say ship with my designs. Okay.
I want to hear
questions?
what Gail's trauma around gnomes are. Like, I'm starting
like,
to think there's like some deep-seated gnome trauma there somehow.
Sounds scary. Did we answer all the questions?
I think so.
Have
we talked a little bit about
question
work.
About pumpkins and potions backing?
Are you working from home tomorrow?
I would like to work from home in the morning, but I think, yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
Because I'm
getting things out of here today at like 4. I've got to make a delivery of furniture, so I'm out of here early today. So
Elizabeth thought they were gardener snakes too. So, Bernadette, you're the second person that asked me about pumpkins and potions and about the lights. Can you go grab Dana's? So, I'm not going to do the lights because I leave them on, they go dead, and then I have to, like, change them out again. Shoot, I was talking to Betty about it. And because she was saying, are you going to put a hole in? Are you going to have, like, what are you going to do? I think in retrospect, now that I think about it, because what if you have to change those out totally? This is Dana's. And here's her 31. And she's got a little pocket here in the back. So, hang on. And she punched holes through all of them. And then put on the pocket. Ooh, we're not lit. I wonder if we left it on and killed Dana's lights. Dana, I'll replace your fairy lights. So
you can't like replace the battery or something?
Oh, you got to pull that thing. Oh, it's never been. We just pulled it, Dana. Shoot.
No, it's her lights are.
Okay. I think
You've got to be able to get in there. And,
you got to be able to get in there. I think.
Look, you could totally get in there.
Oh yeah, you can replace it with one of those round
They're
batteries.
watch batteries.
Yes. I just can't be bothered with that. But I mean, having it lit is really, really fun. I'm gonna do rhinestones. And I think that they had those are 4mm. I'm gonna do rhinestones in mine. I just bought rhinestones. I still haven't done them yet because I'm scared because I'm a baby and I've never done rhinestones. But I just bought a whole bunch of rhinestones and that's what I'm gonna do. But if you are doing that in the back, I think you need to there needs to be a cutout where you can get in there. Do you think? Or you're gonna punch through all those layers. It's the back. Punch through all the layers. Make it easy. Whatever's going to be easiest for you. Because I was like, put the lights in. Just have one hole. But then you have to plan it when you close it. Gets complicated. I want you to think about it before you do it. And just do whatever makes the most sense to you. Because I was thinking you would just punch the front. And just have one thing that you could slip the controller through. And then the pocket. But what if you have to change them all out? I think it might be easier to just do a hole that you can reach into so you can change it out, not have to cut it later. I don't know. What have other people done? So, Bernadette, I did not answer your question. I'm keeping it easy. I'm just going to do rhinestones. Let me see if I had any other questions. Miss Cheryl does a regular back, then sews a little pocket. Oh, I'm sorry, Cindy. I'm sorry that I shared that with you about the, that was too much information. Sorry. I just want to make sure I got. Hey, Bernadette, I'm going to show you what Miss Dana did so you can see it. And this can be an option for you. So there's the holes. So holes are punched through, and who cares about the back? You don't have to look at that. And then there's a little pocket here that holds this, and then your wires. I wonder if you can make a big pocket if you wanted. What if you did a big pocket, and then you wouldn't see that? That might be good. If you wanted, you could do that too. But it's the back, and it's busy fabric, so nobody's looking back there. When's the last time you went to your friend's house and you were like, oh, let me look at the back of her quilt? So, yeah. So you have lots of different options. Starberry line. I don't have Starberry. I don't even know what it is. Send me a picture if it's something I need. I'm going to let Bernadette and Miss Cheryl chat. Jingle lights. What's the difference in the dynamic walking foot and the move it foot? That's a really good question, Lou, and I want to answer that because I have called some people about this. Let me go grab the two.
Thank you.
They're over here on your desk, Jeannie. Oh, you moved them.
Hey, Michelle, can you grab me the compact walking foot, the open one?
Yeah.
When is the gingerbread Christmas kit being sent out for October 4th Kimberbell Project Day? Snakes are creepy. Hey, Jeannie, when's gingerbread being sent?
Oh, let's talk about that too. Gingerbread. Okay, this is how the events work. If you've never done one with us. 3 weeks before the event. So our event's October 4th. Thank you so much. Can you grab some souls too? Yep. 3 weeks before the event, that's when Kimberbell reaches out to us and asks us for a head count, and then they send us and then they send us the kits. So it's a new.
It's a little like the brother sale. We're at the top going, oh, this is going to be a great event. And then everything shows up and we have 2 weeks to get it to you. And we're like, ah.
Yeah, so I don't get those kits. What I've realized, or what I've been trying to do, is sometimes they'll send them to me a little bit earlier. But usually I get those 2 weeks before the actual event. I don't get them before then. So, and then it'll be open for you to start doing your event order. I will send you an event letter the beginning of, it's on my list. I'll send you an event letter with all that information, but you usually get it about like maybe 10 days before, 2 weeks before the event is when you're going to get your kit. But if you think you want to do it now, because there are people that wait until like the week before.
And that's tough.
And that's
it's hard to
sometimes
get you the
tough.
kit.
I'm struggling a little bit to get it to you. Okay, let's talk about the dynamic walking foot compared to the compact walking foot. You need Patrick?
Yeah, can I steal you for a minute?
Yeah.
This is the compact walking foot. I love this walking foot. This is like, I sew with this probably 90% of the time. The only time I don't use this is when I don't have a sole that fits onto it. So this is the normal sole that comes with your dual feed walking foot. The brother versions, they call it the Move It foot. The Baby Lock is going to be the digital dual feed foot. And these soles fit onto both of them. They're interchangeable. The casing is just different. One's his brother, one's his Baby Lock. So this is the regular zigzag sole, and they call that because it has the wide opening and you can do a zigzag stitch in it, as opposed to like a straight stitch with one hole. Really easy to put your accessories on just like that and then take them off again. So it's super easy to get these on and off. All right. So you have the choice, and this plugs in a normal walking foot. These are meant for forward motion only. They are really meant just to do straight stitch. You can kind of get away with a zigzag or a serpentine. They are not meant to do decorative stitches and move in all different directions, because your feed dogs and this part here goes over the needle bar. It is all grabbing the fabric and moving forward. So when you're trying to do stuff like decorative stuff with this, it distorts because it's not meant for that. This foot that plugs in, the machine knows it's on, and so it is prepared and programmed to do stitches in your utility folder only, not in your decorative stitches. So you can't do all decorative stitching, but you can do a lot.
You can do multi-directional stitches.
Yes.
Because it's driven independently of the needle bar.
Ooh, I like how you explain that.
Every other brand's is driven by the needle bar.
And
It's
this is driven by...
And that's driven just by the computer and the machine.
It's driven by the computer and the machine,
like if you
and
look
not
at the
the
mechanics
needle bar.
of like IDT or any of these other walking feet, they're all somehow tied to the operation of the needle. And really the only thing that's happening is it's moving like this. So when it comes down, it hits the foot, and it's really only meant to be used forward. So like Janome, it was a common thing because you can put those feet on, the machine doesn't know they're there. It's driven by the needle bar, but the mechanism actually sits on the presser bar, and people would come in all the time and go, my stitches look awful. And then you'd look at the stitches and you'd see that they were doing a stitch that
like a
was
decorative
not
stitch
meant to be used with the walking foot.
Well, there's a setting on there where you say DDF, and it's supposed to only allow you to select certain stitches, but
right,
people
but
would
not, but you
people
can put it
wouldn't
on
always.
without setting the setting.
So with this walking foot, there is the regular zigzag sole. There's the 1/4 inch, which is my favorite because I use it with the flange. I'm a flange girl. There is this stitch in the ditch, and these are great because instead of just having a little hole, you have the whole zigzag hole. So you can use it to top stitch. You can use it to do more than just stitch in the ditch. and then the open toe when you really need to be able to see stuff. So those are the four main soles. A lot of the machines will come with like the couching one, depending on like which machine you have as well, and we can always order that for you.
Well, and the couching sole was part of one of the upgrades too.
This is the little butt one. Some of you have the big butt one, and that one's great too. Just flick it. Don't worry about it. I know people are like, my fabric gets stuck. Flick it, and then it'll just go through. That's what I did for like, for like however long I had it. Was
8
it
years?
Yeah, I would just flick it because I knew it was gonna get. I was there, done. Then you can sew. So this is the dynamic, and I don't have an open one, so I'm just gonna show you through the packaging. The dynamic one, it looks a lot like this one. It's the same size. Okay, so this is like just a regular like walking foot that you'll see with a lot of your machines. The dynamic walking foot, it's going to be tied to the needle bar, so it's not going to have what you can do with the compact walking foot. But they make it so that you do have interchangeable soles. And
It's
so
a lot more robust.
it's more robust than this.
It's a lot more robust.
Yes. I mean, look at the outside. It's all metal. So it's going to be more
Well,
robust.
even the connection, like it's built much more like the PQ walking foot, where like even the connection to the presser bar is super solid.
Yes.
Like if you look at it, it's like a solid piece of milled aluminum or steel. So like it's just got a lot more strength to it than the standard walking feet do.
Yes, so more power, more strength, get what you pay for. And you can get, this is sold separately, you can get the sole set. So now you can have the 1/4 inch and the stitch in the ditch. Those are, oh no,
Does
wait.
it come with the quilt bars too? It comes with quilt bars too, doesn't it?
Yeah, is
Yeah,
that the quilt
that's
bar?
the- I
I
think
feel like,
so.
is it, yeah, it's 1/4 inch and stitch in the ditch. Okay, the other big difference, because I've had some people, and when I know what machine you have, and you've said to me, hey, I want to get the dynamic walking foot, but I have a Luminaire. Your Luminaire, they call it a mid-shank machine, right? But it's a high shank.
No, it's a high shank.
Okay, your Luminaire is a high shank machine. This is a low shank accessory, and that just means where it screws on. Do you see like the attachment here is probably what, like an inch above, an inch and a quarter or something? This walking foot, look how low it is. It's probably like 1/2 inch or something. So if you want to use this with your high shank machine, you need to put on that adapter that drops it, that makes it so you can use low shank accessories. So you can use this with your Luminaire, but I go, why? When you have this, and it has
there
so many
are
more
some,
options.
Like I've had some customers that are like, I like the option, and there are just some circumstances where, don't ask me for an example, but like they'll tell me there are circumstances where they just prefer to use that foot.
Yes.
And
And if you tell me that, I just want you to understand this just doesn't hook on to your high shank machine. You have to put, there's like a little bar that slips over the needle bar and a little screw. You have to put that on if you want to use this on your high shank machine.
And so Cindy asks a good question, and this was going to be the next thing I said about the dynamic walking foot. For anybody that has a low shank machine, so that would be machines up through like, yeah, Ventura or Vesta, the NQ3700, the NQ3550, like any of the mid-level machines, like up to the Soprano and the Baby Lock line, or through the 1350 and the Brother line, that would include the Lyric. Like the dynamic walking foot's going to be the nicest walking foot for those machines. Now, some of those machines come with like the white walking foot. But if you are looking for something a little bit more robust with those sole options and the quilt bar options, then it's a great option. And then Faye asks, does the dynamic walking foot work for the PQ 1500 SL? And the answer is no, it
I'll show
doesn't.
them the foot.
And the reason it doesn't is your feed dogs are much narrower. So there is a walking foot for the PQ 1500. It actually came with it. And then there's a walking foot for the PQ 1600, which no longer comes with it. And it is like this. And so they are normally $69.99. They're $54.99 with the brother sale.
Miss Debbie F, this is yours. That's going to get shipped to you. So this is for the 1600, the PQ 1600. And you do have to order that separately. So hopefully that answered your question. Yeah, I say if you have low shank, this is the way to go because you've got options. Low shank. And if you have high shank and it plugs in, which I think all of our high shanks do, right? I say this is the way, and that's my opinion. If you don't like it and you want this, get this. I want you to have what you want.
But just know what you're buying.
I want you to understand what you're buying. I don't want you to get it and be like, I put it on my machine and then put my foot down and it kind of dangled there like my feet in a bar stool that don't touch. That's what
on our couch.
Where were we the other?
Oh,
we had a little photo.
Furniture.
We had a little photo shoot the other day, Patrick and I sat back on the couch and my feet were. I was like, I feel like a 10-year-old. My feet like didn't even come close to hitting the ground. Anyways, now you know.
Did you want to talk about that? Did you want to just mention?
I do. You know what? Let's talk about 2 more things and then we'll go because I know you have things to do. A lot of you are going to be in Michelle's class this morning. So I wanted to mention I met with somebody the other day and if you've come in and you've been looking for kids classes because we're so busy we don't have time for that, I have a resource for you. So just reach out. If you're local in Reno and you want to do kids, like maybe your daughter, your son, or your grandchild is looking to take sewing classes, we have somebody wonderful that I can refer you to.
And we still have 1 week on
the machines, those great machines.
So
I also wanted to tell you I'm doing something. Lori named it the brown box special, which I think is so cute. Yes, you can go.
All right, bye.
I'm doing a brown box special. So if you want to, and this is kind of like animal style. So if you're from the West Coast and you know In-N-Out Burger and you know they have a secret menu, this is our secret menu. If you order a thread kit and you want to get it brown box special, you can drop me a note because I just go, okay, why is this so much more? Is it the plastic case? Like, what is it? So the brown box special in our store is, and these are for your glide kits. If you're getting like pumpkins and potions or quilty Christmas and you want the brown box special, like I just put this together. Brown box special. This is quilty Christmas. And it doesn't look as pretty like that, right? It's only 9 threads. Brown box special. I will brown box it and send it to you without the plastic case. And it'll be the glide threads $4.99 a spool. So it'll be, however, this is 9 spools, so it'll be 9 times $4.99 less 10%. Is what our brown box special is. So you can order it online in your notes, and I'm not putting it up there. It's just like we're so busy. I'm just going to tell you. And that's like you're in the know now because you were on the live feed. Just put in your notes brown box special, and then you're going to just get a brown box with your thread, and then I'll credit you the difference. All right? Because some of you don't want the plastic box. And this is easier for us to ship. If you love, some of you have all your thread kits and they're all up on the shelf and you like to look at them and they're beautiful and you've labeled them, then get the thread kit. Get the whole thread kit. But that's another option for you is your brown box special. How many yards? I always forget. They're either 1,000 yards or 1,000 meters. I know there's a difference there. Let me look at one. 1,000 meters. 1,000 meters. And most of the threads are. And I know, don't you like that? We've been calling people and been like, hey, you ordered this. Would you prefer the brown box special? I mean, we haven't called everyone, but now you know. Okay, yeah, people have asked about mug rugs, and we talked about this. Mug rug kits, I think they're going to be anywhere from, let's just call it $59.99, and it's going to be all the fabric, everything is cut, all the embellishments, everything is in there. You're going to get it all at once. We are not doing one at a time. All the fabric's in there, and we cut the sizes, not to size. We cut like the 1/4 yard, the fat 16th, the 1/8, whatever it calls for in there, that's what in there. Hey, Dana, what would you say, like, because Dana took home a partial kit. We weren't totally cut.
What?
Oh, Dana, why don't you come and join us?
What?
This is, and look at, she's wearing her A-1 t-shirt. This is Dana.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, so Dana is the one, okay, the pumpkins and potions that you've seen that you've been so inspired by with all the purple. Dana. The mug rugs that she, like, and she's so fast. I'll be like, hey, can you? And the next day, like, everything's done.
You know, the pumpkins and potions has a lot of glow-in-the-dark thread in it, too.
Yes. So she
You don't know that, but...
and like with Dana, like she recreates and reinvents and like always stretches it to its limit, and always inspires. So we're so lucky to have her. But so would you say how much fabric was left over? I know not all of these. You're not going to get 2 out of.
Almost everyone had enough for 2. Let me do a quick look. Almost everyone had enough for 2.
Okay.
Almost everyone. Oh, on this one, there wasn't enough of this pink.
Yes.
So
you
I
might
used
have
the,
to sub.
the pretty petals, because I made one for my mother-in-law who's 94. So I used the pretty petals peach color.
Yeah, you might have to do a little sub here or there.
Yeah, but everything else-
but most of it, you're gonna have enough for 2. And don't cut your applique pieces like they tell you to. Just lay them down as you go, and you'll have plenty of fabric.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Janet's gonna be stitching one of these out for you.
And Amazon sells these little button batteries for this for like a dozen for, I don't know, $7 or something. They're not very expensive at all if you go through Amazon.
Yeah.
If you don't mind an off-market brand. So.
Yeah. So if you're like me and you turn it on and leave it on.
Exactly. We all do that.
Yeah,
We
because
all
I
do
think
it.
we did that to yours. We owe you a battery.
No, you don't owe me a battery. I have a lot of them left over from the Kimberbell village. There's a village that you make
Yes.
12 houses. And
Hers
so
is cute.
they're all lit up. But-
So kits, we're gonna be ready with these probably in the next week or so, and
The embellishment kit, though, did you get an embellishment? There's an
it's
embellishment
gonna
kit for it.
it's gonna all be in there. You're gonna have it all. We'll put some options in there. Oh, like, cause you know what? KB isn't including rhinestones, but guess who is? A1. Yes, I'm gonna put we're gonna put 4mm rhinestones in there, and we'll put some options for your kitty cat. So just hold tight. It's coming. You can't do anything until October, anyways.
Yeah, just prepare for it. Get a
Yes.
bag, put it all
Yeah,
in there,
and Dana
now
will
just
be
sit
there to stitch out with you. So, anyways, we're out of here. Have a great day. Be creative and make something awesome. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday. You have a house full this weekend.
I've got a house
Have a
full.